Good morning, my dear children. Today, let's discuss the topic in Indian economics from the chapter titled Poverty. So, poverty is not only a challenge for India, as more than one fifth of the world's poor live in India alone, but also for the world, where about 300 million people are not able to meet their basic needs. So, in India, one fifth of the world's poor live in India, and in the world, we can see 300 million people they are not able to meet their basic needs. And how are poor people identified? How we can identify the poor and the rich? And before independence, Dadabhai Nauroji was the first to discuss the concept of a poverty line in the man of jail cost of living. He assumed that one third population consisted of children and half of them consumed very little while the other half consumed half of the adult diet. 3/4 of the adult jail cost of living. And in 1962, to identify the poor and rich, the Planning Commission they formed the study group to identify the poor as well as the rich sections of the society. And they have categorized poverty into the chronic poor, the transient poor, and non-poor. And the next one is poor and the non-poor. So, they have categorized the poverty into two, which are the chronic poor, transient poor, then poor and the non-poor. So, who are these chronic poor? Chronic poor means that chronic means what? Chronic means acute, always. So, who are always poor sometimes have a little more money. Transient poor means regularly move in and out of the poverty. And poor and the non-poor means the non-poor is never poor. And the poor means the absolutely poor. So these are the four sections where they have identified the poorer sections of the society also. Next, if we study the poverty line, and it is studied on the basis of the monthly per capita expenditure and the calories intake. So, the calories intake means for a rural person, the calories should be 2400, and for the urban person, it should be 2100 calories. This is the nutritional requirements or the national norm they have kept. So, in this manner, they have kept the nutritional standards for the rural persons as well as for the urban person. And in 1990s, the absolute poor in rural area declined, but urban areas increased marginally. The gap between these rural areas and the urban areas regarding this absolute poverty was same in 2000 and has widened in 2011-12. And still the Odisha, the Madhya Pradesh, the Bihar and Uttar Pradesh are still far above the national poverty level. West Bengal and Tamil Nadu also reduced their poverty level. So, in this manner, regarding the disparities between the states also. And if we discuss the causes of the poverty, what are the main causes of the poverty? That is, impact of the British rule in Indian economy. The India started exporting the food grains, and as a result of that, 26 million people died in famines. Second one is the economic conditions of the farmers since independence and the indebtedness of the farmers. Next one is high growth rate of population. Next point, widespread unemployment. And the last one is low level of capital formation. So these are the major causes of the poverty. First of all, they have started the exporting the food grains, and as a result, many died out of famines. The second one is the conditions of the farmers, economic conditions, almost what bankruptcy, or they were indebted to others. Next one is the high growth rate of population, and the next one is a widespread unemployment problem, and the last one, which is the prerequisite for our investment purposes, that is a low level of capital formation. So I hope children it is very clear for you. Thank you children.